know what that's
Of
called.
course, you're going to put me on the spot.
Anyways, there was a band one time at the.
Hey everybody, it's me, the F-Bomb, and I am here in Ashtabula Harbor this afternoon. I am taking the opportunity to talk with Alan Gustoson. Is that how you say it?
Nope.
Nope. How do you say it?
Gustoson.
Gustoson. Okay. So Alan is a sound technician. As a matter of fact, he is the first guest to be the sound technician interviewee. And so this, I feel like I'm cheating because we're actually in our own county for a change, and he's off, so everything worked out just fine. But Alan, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Alan has about 38 years of experience in sound technician, sound engineering, mainly live. Is that?
Yes, all
mainly
live.
All live stuff, yeah.
Live.
So he's going to share with us some gems that he has probably wanted to share with some people for a while, but just hadn't had the opportunity.
I don't know if I do.
Oh, don't spare anything. So you've been running sound across Northeast Ohio for quite a
38
while
years
now.
since I was 17.
Is that right? So are you a musician by origin?
Yes.
Yeah.
Drummer.
All right.
I'm a drummer.
Drummer.
I started as a drummer at 10 and then started doing sound around 17.
What got you interested in doing sound? What was it that?
Sneaking into the Cove. We were my friends and I were regulars there every weekend, and they needed somebody to run lights. So they saw us, my friend and I, like, hey, one of you guys want to run lights? We'll get you in for free and we'll give you $10. My friend didn't want to do it. I'm like, I'll do it. I live 10 minutes away.
Sure.
So that's how it started, running lights.
Running lights.
Running
Okay.
lights.
All right. My brother was a light man for
Running
many
lights at
years.
the Cove. Not for very long, though.
Yeah.
A few months, maybe. And the sound guy there had kind of gotten himself fired. And I was, by default, next in line.
So then how did you learn the trade then?
Well,
Lights are one thing, sound's a whole
yeah,
different.
like when I was doing lights, I would babysit the board kind of once things were set up, so I had a general idea of how the board worked. But the night I was told that I was going to be the sound guy, I had no knowledge. Like, our boss showed up, said, hey, I'm firing so-and-so.
Oh boy.
You're doing sound tonight. I'm like, I don't know how. He goes, well, I'm going to show you. And then that's kind of how it worked.
Wow,
and
man.
I remember the first band I ever did sound for was Fox. And I'm sure a lot of people out there remember Fox from Akron. They were a regular at the Cove, but that was the very first band I ever did sound for.
Is that right?
Fox.
So how long did you end up doing that sound there then?
At the Cove?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was 87, so probably until, see, that's where it gets kind of, on and off, I was there for about 25 years. But there was a couple times where I had left and came back. In the early 90s, I left and went to Dr. Feelgood's and worked there for a while every weekend in Conneaut. But I ended up finally breaking down and buying my own PA system finally.
Okay. All right.
I got tired of working for other people and having no say in who I got to do sound for.
Sure.
So this way I could pick and choose who I wanted to work with, where I wanted to work. I had more control over it.
Yeah, that was one of my questions. I wasn't sure if you worked completely on your own or if maybe you have a small crew or whatever.
No, it's just me. When I purchased my PA about 10 or 12 years ago, my first PA that I've ever bought, I took a 401k loan out from my day job to purchase it. I wanted to buy the best equipment that I could afford. And I made sure that when I bought it, I was keeping in the back of my head that I was the only one that's going to be moving it.
Uh-huh.
So I wanted to keep it light and easy to set up and easy to tear down.
Ah,
But I was
gotcha.
going to be by myself.
Yeah. So that's actually, it seems like there's plenty of sound people that I've met. That's their MO,
Yes.
is to work by themselves. And I get that.
I mean, a lot of, I hate to say it, but a lot of sound guys, contrary to popular belief, don't get paid a lot. So it's hard for me to have to pay a helper without raising my price and then maybe raising it high enough to be cut out of jobs.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I imagine you're pretty busy, though. I would imagine you. Sound guys are the extra band member, really.
Right.
My gigging days, we ran our own sound on the stage, and while that's fine,
Right.
if you know what you're doing, when the shit hits the fan,
Yeah.
and you're in the middle of a solo, your husband's in the middle of a solo, and something's happening, that's where a sound man is most valuable.
To take some of the pressure off.
Absolutely. I imagine you drive quite a ways on most
Yes.
occasions. Yeah.
Yeah, I live in Ashtabula, so most of my jobs are minimum 45 minutes away.
Yeah.
Now I work in Paynesville for my day job, so a lot of times, especially Friday shows, I will leave from work. I'll bring my trailer to work and leave from there, so I'm a little closer to where I need to be.
Oh, that's good.
A lot of my job, I could go to the west side, I can go south, I go to Akron, I will go to Erie, Pennsylvania. I'll go anywhere probably within an hour and a half away from Ashtabula with no problem.
Yeah.
I've done it.
Yeah. Yeah. Nothing like a late night too in a snowstorm.
Right.
That's always a good time.
Oh yeah. Trailer fishtailing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's fun.
So now, since you've started though, you said you bought your gear about 12
About
years
12
ago.
years ago.
Like that?
11, 12 years ago.
So how do you stay up with technology, or do you just stick with something tried and true that you're familiar with? And
Well,
I mean, sometimes the older gear is the better gear.
I agree.
You know?
I agree.
So tell me a little bit about your...
Yeah, so when I finally decided to break down and buy my own equipment, I wanted nothing to do with the digital consoles because I didn't know anything about them. Everything I've done for 20 some years has been analog.
Yeah.
Everywhere I've worked has been analog. The brewing company, the Cove, Dr. Feelgood's. I'm used to an analog board with a rack full of processors and effects and EQs. I was kind of real hesitant about buying a digital board, so I'm trying to think what I did. I think I did a couple fill-in jobs with another sound guy using a digital board just to try to get a taste of it. And then when I was ready to buy, I did a lot of research on the different brands and what I could afford. And then luckily, another sound guy based out of Perry, who's unfortunately no longer with us, that's Doug Secor, invited me over to try some of his boards that he had, and I loved them, so I bought one from him. It was definitely a learning curve to do digital.
Yeah.
But everything is so nice because everything's in the board. I don't have a rack full of stuff to carry. So it's definitely streamlined everything.
So when we're talking about your gear, though, what's like the capacity of your gear? Do you have enough gear to go from small to very large? Or
Yes.
Do you keep your,
Yeah, I've expanded as far as actually going the opposite way and buying speakers that maybe are geared for smaller places, so I don't have to bring my bigger, heavier stuff with me. But the main system I have is big enough to do small festivals, outdoor festivals, but small.
Okay.
I've done the Wine and Walleye Festival in Ashtabula for the last maybe 5 or 6 years. I was doing the Garrettsville Summerfest for a few years.
That's the area I'm from, actually.
Yeah, and it was
pretty popular.
It was enough to do that festival, but to me, I could have used more. I wish I had more. But I wasn't going to buy more just to do one festival a year.
So in that instance, do you have a place that you go to rent anything?
No.
No.
Unfortunately, when I bought my equipment, the brand that I chose is not a popular brand. It's not a brand that a lot of people have extra cabinets laying around. I know one other guy in Cleveland that has some of the same stuff if I needed to ever rent stuff, but no, if I don't have enough to do it, I'm not going to take the job.
I see. Well, good to know. And it's good that you actually say, look, I can't do it.
Right.
I mean,
no,
as
if I
opposed
know
to,
I'm not equipped to do it, I'm not going to take the job.
Yeah.
I don't want to go in there with not enough equipment.
You want to stay within your own ability, right?
Within my range. I want to,
You want to carry your stuff yourself.
But on the other hand, when I do go to bars and they tell me, oh, you only need this or you only need that, I still bring everything. I'm going to bring everything I can fit in the bar. So I want to impress people with what I have.
Right. And even though, I mean, just because you have a big system doesn't mean you have to overkill the crowd.
Right,
louder's not always better.
I will almost always bring all 4 of my subs, even if I don't need them, because I would rather run 4 subs a little lower and still get the low end out of it and have a good quality low end.
Yeah.
Than just to bring 1 per side and have to push it to where they're basically farting and they sound like shit.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd rather have the extra and not need it.
Right.
If I could fit them in there, I'm bringing them.
That's a good philosophy.
I'm absolutely bringing them.
That's a good philosophy to have.
Yeah. every time I bought something, I kept in mind that I was gonna have to move it myself, as far as the weight and whether it was on wheels or could be on wheels.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah.
So
But-
is it? So you integrated digital, or did you kind of find yourself slowly crossing over?
No, I
like-
jumped right into it.
Did
I
you?
had no choice, but I bought the board that was, when I researched it, the board that a lot of people don't like because it doesn't have a lot of fancy extras on it compared to some of the other brands. It was kind of, from what I could find on it, it was like the board easiest to transition from analog to digital. It made the most sense when you're looking at it to navigate through it.
Okay.
So I went with it and I played around with it in my living room, hooked it up to some speakers, messed around with things. And my first couple shows, I was nervous as can be.
But-
'Cause something was going to fail.
yeah.
And I don't think anything failed. It was definitely, like I said, a learning curve to do things on the fly. It's a little not as quick as with an analog board. We just grab a knob and do what you got to do.
Sure.
Digital, you got to push a button, then maybe push another button, and push another button, and then adjust stuff. It's a
Okay.
little. It's not as quick to make adjustments on
That's
on the fly.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't like that.
yeah.
Nothing
So
I can do about it though. It is what
is
it
most
is.
of your equipment still plugging, cords and cords and cords and cords, or it seems like things are getting less and less corded.
Right. No, I don't do a lot of wireless stuff. The only wireless I've done is using the router to use an iPad
Okay.
to walk around clubs to mix with, which is a great. Whoever invented that is great because
Yeah.
you could go everywhere in the bar and hear what it sounds like rather than standing in one spot.
Yeah.
But given the chance, I will still put my board out front where I could stand there
Sure.
and mix from the board rather than the iPad because I'm not a fan of the iPad.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not.
No.
It
So
is
you've
what
been
it
doing
is. It's a necessary evil.
Right. I imagine it is.
Right.
And is something like that? I don't know much about those. I see them, but we're still analog down in
Right.
the basement.
I wish I could still be.
Yeah. Well, my God, the gear though is so freaking heavy.
Yep.
It's just,
Yes.
I don't want to lift it anymore. But
Right.
so is it easy to expand? Like if you had a horn section, if you had a band that had a horn section, is it something that you can easily?
Yes, I mean it definitely makes like I've worked with I'm gonna say 3 bands I could think of off the top of my head that have had horn sections. So they're average 10-piece bands with a horn section. 3 different ones I've worked with over the last few years. And having a digital board makes everything so much easier. First of all, the biggest thing about digital boards is most of them come with at least 6 monitor mixes. Mine comes with 14. So you got 10 people in the band, it's no problem.
Oh, okay.
You got monitors for everybody.
Sure.
As long as you have the wedges, unless they run in-ear monitors,
In-ears,
which is
yeah.
great. I love
Yeah,
when
you
bands.
prefer that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. 'Cause that's less equipment I have to bring and set up and deal with, rather than just run a line to their in-ear monitors and give them a mix.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
yeah, but like bigger bands, it's way easier with a digital board than with an old analog board for sure.
Yeah. So, why don't you walk us through what it's like for you when you get to a venue? Maybe you haven't worked with that specific band before. Like, from my perspective, a place like this would be hell
Yes.
to work with because there's
Acoustic-wise,
nothing
terrible.
here to
Terrible.
absorb anything. But
Terrible.
but if you have a job like this, you're in it, right? So now what? But so walk us through.
If I had to do a job here, and this is nothing against this
Oh, God,
place,
no.
I'm sure it's a great place. I'm not a drinker, but I'm sure if you like beer, I've read a lot. I've seen a lot of friends come here and they love it. If I took a job, if I have a job coming up in a couple of weeks at a place that I call the Fishbowl.
Yeah.
Some people that are friends with me know which bar I'm talking to, but it's like this. It's an acoustic nightmare. It is concrete floors. It is corrugated aluminum ceilings, and it is all glass.
Oh my.
My trick to that, and some people hate it, and it is what it is, I will bring as much low end in there as I can to balance off the harshness that you're going to get from sound bouncing all over the place.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know it seems like overkill, but I will. I will bring in more low end than I need because it helps balance off, like I said, the harshness, the high mids that you're going to get in a place
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah.
There's tricks to it. You got to mess with the EQ. Unfortunately, there's no sound muffling in here.
Right. Right.
It would be a nightmare.
Yeah.
It would
Yeah.
definitely be it would
And
be
that's
all
why you
four
hire a
subs.
sound guy.
Right, it would not be good. It would be very loud.
Yes.
And it'd be almost uncontrollably loud, where there's only so much a sound guy can do,
Yeah.
and then it's out of his hands.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's the same with the other place I'm going to be at in a couple weeks.
Do you have a place that you really like playing? I don't. If you don't feel comfortable naming, you don't have to.
No, I hate to say it, but there are not a lot of places that are set up for bands anymore. Most of
Yeah.
them are restaurants that have bands, and they're not acoustically set up, or they're just you got to move tables off the stage to set up.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, offhand, acoustically, I can't think of a place that's actually that every time I go there, I'm happy to be there. Like, it just sounds good I don't have to do very much. Like, my job is easy.
Yeah,
like,
right.
it sounds so good. My job is easy. Most places, it just makes me want to quit.
Yeah. Right.
Places like
It's
this,
either a load-in situation
yeah,
where you're
either the
hauling
load-in
shit.
is terrible,
Yeah.
the acoustics are terrible,
The space is horrible.
the setup, like maybe the way the stage is, like maybe in the corner, is terrible.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I can't name one place that I get excited about going to.
Yeah.
We'll
How about
say,
this? Is there a place that you have played at that is no longer functioning that you really enjoyed?
I hate to say it, the old Dr. Feelgood is always a great sounding room, the way it was set up. The backstage at the Cove, I love mixing when we did the Metal Fest, and I got to do the backstage. Love doing the backstage because it was set up like it should be. Rather, the front stage, as a lot of people probably know, it's set up wide and shallow.
Yeah.
Terrible setup, but it helped me become a better sound guy working there all those years. Because if you can make that front room sound decent,
Yes.
then a place where the PA is set up like it should be, is going to be a piece of cake.
Piece of cake.
Unless you have shitty acoustics.
Right.
And there's a difference between it being a loud room and shitty, and just an overall loud room, but it still sounds okay. And the workers don't complain because they're just used to it.
Yeah. Right.
And I've never gotten noise complaints at any of the Wild Eagles. And they're both, the Streetsboro and the Broadview Heights are both similar.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say I like going there, but I don't hate it.
Yeah.
Like, as far as what's left out there.
Yeah.
I'm not crazy about outdoor shows because usually the power situation is
Okay,
terrible.
that was one of my questions.
Absolutely terrible. GFIs are the sound guy's worst nightmare.
Yeah.
I can't think offhand of any places other than, like I said, the backstage at the Cove is a great setup sound-wise. Mm-hmm. Always going to have somebody that thinks they know better.
Of course.
Whether it's on the stage or off the stage, and it's just so irritating sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of guilty of standing back. I used to stand back and watch the musicians a little bit more critically, just because, I don't know, I guess that's what we just did when I was younger.
Right.
But now I actually stand back and I'll actually walk the room myself just to kind of see how's it sounding, because maybe that sound person doesn't have an extra set of ears,
right?
You know,
maybe they're stationary at one spot and they can't move around.
Yeah. So if I ever come up to you, it's not because I don't think you know what you're doing.
No, it's if you're stationary mixing at a board and maybe you're on one side of the room and you got a group of people on the other side of the room.
Yeah.
Maybe they can't hear something that's on this side of the stage, but where you're standing, you hear it. So you're not going to turn it up too much louder in the mains because you're hearing it just fine where you're standing.
Exactly.
So you need to at the very least walk around a little bit, whether you have the iPad or not. You need to walk the room a little bit and make sure it's acceptable everywhere. It's not going to be perfect everywhere.
Right.
It's got to be.
Yeah, because as soon as bodies come in and things, it's going to shift
Everything
everything.
changes. Everything changes.
Yeah. So that's where you guys are worth your weight in gold. I mean, not only that, I mean, and it doesn't matter to me if a guy uses older equipment or has the brightest, shiniest thing.
Same here.
If he doesn't know how to drive the ship, it's still going to suck.
I don't pick on equipment. I mean, if you know what you're doing, you should be able to make pretty much anything sound decent.
Yeah.
I've been in situations where it was definitely a test.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you walk into a bar and the band's like, oh, there's already a house system there. We just need you to run it, which I hate taking those jobs because you never know what you're going to walk
Yeah,
into.
right.
I had got PTSD from the Cove, from working at the Cove, like seeing this board and these speakers. And
Oh my gosh.
but I got through it.
I'm sure
I
you've
did
seen
what I
it.
could with what I had to work with. I did the
Yeah.
best I could.
Yeah, what can you do? Best you can.
And
That's
it
all.
came out okay. I wasn't thrilled. I'm almost never happy with my mixes, 100%.
Yeah.
Almost never.
Yeah.
There's been a handful of times in 38 years where I could be like, sounds really good. I'm really happy with this. But
I think that's probably pretty common though, you
I
know.
think so too.
So many variables come into play,
Yeah.
whether you're indoors or outdoors. I would imagine that would be it's the
Like I
same
said,
for
there's only a handful where I've actually sat back and have been happy with the way it sounded.
yeah.
But after a handful of songs, there's nothing I hate worse than watching a sound guy mess with the mix all night long. If I'm at a bar watching a band and they're constantly fidgeting with the mix,
Yes, right.
you can't get it dialed in after a handful of songs and just stop.
Yeah.
Just go with it. That's what it is. It is what it is.
Yeah, right.
You can't
right.
you can't do anything to fix it.
Exactly. I agree. And enjoy a little bit of the
Right.
night while you can, you
Get
know.
it the best you can and just go with it.
I'm just kind of curious, and of course, I don't need to know what your rates are, but ballpark, what is a going rate for a sound guy these days?
My rate usually is average 300, 350. I'm always getting yelled at by other sound guys that I don't charge enough. To me, I think I'm being fair because I'm also a musician. I know what the majority of bands get paid, not exact figures, but I have an idea. And I feel like if I charge more, I'm ripping them off. Like I want them to not go home broke. I'd
Right.
love for them to make money. I'd love for all of us to make
Sure.
money. Like,
Sure.
But in the end, I am bringing the most equipment. I'm doing the most work.
Right.
I'm there first. I'm there last. I'm setting the most up and I'm tearing the most down.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you're working from the time you park the truck. Well, before you park the truck, you're
yeah,
you know,
absolutely. I like to give myself 3 hours before start time to get to a bar, set up. And it's not because that takes me 3 hours to set up. I can do it probably an hour and a half. I really had to bust my ass. But I like to I don't want to rush.
Yeah.
Take my time, maybe get some food in case things go wrong.
Sure.
Something's not working, I got to troubleshoot something, which has not been that often.
Yeah. Yeah.
God.
And I think it's fair too. I mean, you know, the PA system, whether it's yours or the band's, I mean, that's the extra band member. There has to be a cost associated with just maintaining that.
Right.
Anything, even a chord, you know.
Right. And I know guys that do sound for their own bands. They play in the band and they do their own sound, and some of them are really, really good. And what they do, and I think this is great. It's a great idea. And if I ever get a band going again, I've talked to some people, and this has been brought up. You take a little bit of money off the top to go towards the person that owns the PA and is mixing the PA. Not a lot, just a little extra would go to that person for bringing it in, setting it up, and running it.
Absolutely.
Whether, like I said, I know another sound guy friend of mine that mixes from behind the drums. You would think it's crazy and it would sound awful, but it sounds great out front.
Yeah.
He's been doing it longer than me, and every time I see his band, they're great.
Yeah.
He doesn't hesitate to hand me his iPad though when he sees me in the crowd.
Oh,
hey,
sure.
well, make sure everything's okay, and I don't mind doing that on the night off.
Yeah, right. Because heavy lifting's not on your hands.
We've been friends forever.
Yeah.
And he's one of the guys that taught me some stuff early on, so I don't mind.
Yeah.
He's got a great band.
Yeah, I think it's fair though. We did that. The
Absolutely.
PA was the extra person.
You kick a little extra money to that person, and that's fair. I mean, even though they're not the sound guy, the dedicated side, they're still bringing a little more equipment.
Right.
They're setting it up. They're running it. They're adjusting it throughout the night. So they should get a little extra when you split the money up. You want to split it evenly, but that little extra should go to that person.
Yeah, agree.
Not even a lot.
But even a good chord is going to run you.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
it makes sense to do that. It's only fair. It is only fair.
And if you're lucky, things don't break and
That's
everything
right.
goes smoothly. But then when things break, then there's that extra added cost on top of that.
Absolutely. What are some of the things that you would like performers to know about hiring you or any other sound person and just working along with them during the gig?
So, contrary to popular belief, I'm pretty easy to get along with. As long as bands are professional, I guess would be the best word. Meaning, it drives me insane to work with bands that don't play for the room. As far as dynamic, like drummers lacking dynamics,
Sure.
guitar players with a full stack or a half stack, half Marshall stack in a bar, tiny place.
Yeah.
Not necessary.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I'm not sold on the whole quiet stage thing where everybody runs direct.
Yeah.
That, to me, depends on the actual room.
Yeah.
Because the problem with everybody running direct, even electronic drums, if you have people standing up close to the stage, they're not hearing any stage, there's no stage volume.
Right.
So if the speakers are over here shooting past them, they're not hearing any, they're like, I can't hear the singer, I can't hear the singer.
Exactly. Right.
Step back a few
Yeah.
feet.
Yeah.
So it kind of, I'm not a fan of the quiet stage. I don't mind when guitar players, you run them direct, you put them in like a stage monitor.
I'm with you though,
I'm
because
not a fan of electronic drums at all, unless
No.
it's rooms like this.
yeah, I would understand on something like that.
Cymbals are a nightmare in this room.
I bet.
Cymbals
I
are
feel
terrible.
like, from a musician standpoint, you can't get the flow going. You can't shake it out and get moving with it because there's nothing there. It's all energy that you're putting out to the crowd, but
Right.
you need that energy too.
I went on a rant, and some of my Facebook friends will remember this, maybe about a year or so ago. And I wish I would have did something to save it. Like, I guess you could pin stuff.
Oh,
So it's
sure.
always there. I don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
If it ever shows up on my memory, I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
I went on a rant one night after a horrendous night at the fish aquarium
Yeah.
with a 10-piece band with horns, where I was getting yelled at by a guy in the crowd that he couldn't hear the horns in a bar where you could hear nothing but the horns.
Uh-huh.
So I went on a rant on Facebook about stage volume. And this is the one thing that all bands should understand. I can only mix to whatever the loudest thing is on the stage. Okay? So I get tired of getting yelled at to turn the band down when a lot of times it's out of my control.
Yeah.
So part of it's under my control and part of it isn't. Here's where the problems happen. If you have a loud drummer, I could either deal with it and leave everything else down to where it should be and let the drummer just overpower everything. Then the mix is going to sound awful. All you're going to hear is drums and cymbals.
Yeah.
And then everybody's like, well, I can't hear the guitar. I can't hear vocals. All I can hear is drums. I'm like, I know. Or what I like to do, and this will irritate bars and owners and customers, I then have to bring up everything else on stage to match the loudest thing on stage.
Yeah.
And I hate doing that, but that's the only way you're going to get a good mix.
Right.
For everything to be even. But then everything is loud.
Exactly.
Now, if you do it right, you can do it where it's not ear piercing or whatever. But it's hard to do that in shitty bars with shitty acoustics.
Yeah, right.
Cymbals are the #1 killer because they'll bleed through vocal mics. They're just loud on their own. Like, they don't even need mics. There's times where I will turn off all the drum mics on a drum set, except for the bass drum, because I still want the low end to balance off the high end in the room. But my pet peeve is somebody that can't play to the room. And that's not a dig at any of the drummers I currently work with. I know a couple of them are,
There's always something to learn though. And
right.
Always.
I get it. It's rock and roll. You're going to get up there, you're going to play, you're going to beat the shit out of your stuff. I'm a drummer. I get it.
Yeah.
But there are times when you need to pull back a little bit. You
Yeah.
have to. Certain bars you have to pull back.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the whole band sounds absolutely awful.
Yeah.
Like awful.
That's valuable information.
Yeah,
So
but
don't
then
feel bad.
But then I'm the asshole. Like, hey, you need to play quieter. Like, well, I can't. But you need to.
Yeah.
Or, hey, you need to turn your guitar down. It's too loud. Well, it's only on one. I don't care what number it's on.
Right.
It carries.
Yeah.
Like, it carries.
Yeah.
It bounces off the walls. So I'll do what I can to try to accommodate them. If I need to put their guitar in their mix, if I need to put it in their ears, or whatever I need to do, I'll try to balance it out so they're happy on stage. But sometimes it's a lost cause.
Yeah.
It just is. And those are the bands I will not go back and work with.
Yeah.
Like, I will not. Like, all right, this is fun, but I won't take any more shows with that band or in that venue. There are venues where I don't care to go to. I've never actually said, I don't think I've said no to anything yet, to where I said, no, I won't go there. Well, yeah, there is. There's a couple downtown. I won't go downtown anymore to Cleveland. The car gets broke. My car has been broken into.
Yeah.
Luckily for me, I don't have a lot of opportunities to go downtown, which I'm great with. But there was a bar I went to called the Wild Eagle that was downtown. I absolutely hated that place, everything about it. But there are the two other Wild Eagles that I don't mind going to at all. They're set up good.
Yeah.
Acoustically, they're better, and they're in better locations.
Sure.
Better load-ins.
Yeah.
They're not loading in off whatever that was, Huron Street with traffic whizzing by.
Yeah. Those are big deals too. That's why I like to go to these venues and see what there are, because you don't know if that's your first time going there. You're driving around in circles trying to figure out how the hell you're going to get in there.
Parking with a trailer.
Yeah.
I always got to look into that. The Flats. I worked at a bar in the Flats a few times. I kind of at the point where I won't go to that bar anymore. That was with a band that I don't really work with anymore. That was the only band I've been there with, and to this particular bar, but it was a parking nightmare.
Yeah.
They had a parking lot. They wanted you to pay twice, like unhook the trailer, pay for two. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, right.
If you can't accommodate the band,
exactly.
Like you want the band to come in and play for you and entertain your people, but you're going to charge them to park.
Right, exactly. I agree.
I can't do that.
I was at a place not too long ago. They actually charged the drum tech the cover to get in, and I thought that was really shitty.
You shouldn't be doing that.
That's just shitty.
I mean, you got to look at them as workers. Do you charge your waitress and waiters cover charge to come in? Do you charge them to park?
Yeah, no, that's.
I won't go to places. I won't take jobs at places like that.
So since you're not a mind reader, what would be maybe some tips for a band while they're on stage to best communicate with you? Since, of course, talking over the microphone isn't probably the best way to do it. Is there some things that you kind of ask them to do?
Wow.
Look,
it's almost like you heard a story about me, but I don't know.
No, actually, no. I only know the signals I would give my husband. So I'm assuming there might be some universals.
That's so good point. And I never thought it as being a big deal when you're trying to signal the sound guy. If you need more or less of something, it's not hard to do. Just get their attention. Like you could say their name over the mic. You can wait for them to make eye contact. Cause I'm always looking at the band, like especially at the beginning of the night. I'm always watching to make sure nobody's trying to get my attention for something to go up in their monitors or down or whatever. But just kind of give me a little wave. Hey, point to so and so vocal, turn it down or up. It's really easy to do.
Everybody, this is Alan. Alan, thank you so much for hanging out with me.
My pleasure.
First technician on the show, on the program.
Don't make me the only one.
So if you're thinking of investing in a sound guy for your next gig, take some of what Alan shared with you, use that to your benefit, and move forward and find the right guy for the show. Until then, I'm the F-Bomb, and I'll see you at the next gig.